Good.
Well, I will call this meeting to order. Welcome everyone to the Monday, June 8th, fifth board meeting for Tillamook Bay Community College. We will tonight open the board meeting with a budget hearing and hi, welcome. So obviously I should have reviewed this before I called the meeting to order. So we're just, all I'm doing is calling the budget hearing to order. And I'm asking for approval of the budget hearing agenda. So
I move we approve the budget hearing agenda.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, and then we will open the budget hearing and I'm going to turn it over to Dave.
So no changes have been made to the budget since we received the committee's approval back on April 29th. We just did the summary changes that were pointed out in that meeting. The budget committee approved TBCC's permanent tax rate as well as the property tax levies for both the 2016 Go Bond indebtedness and 2023 Go Bond indebtedness. The resolution the board will be asked to approve will include the permanent tax rate and current bonded indebtedness for both bond issues. The property tax levies to be certified with the Tillamook County Assessor's Office include levies for both 2016 and 2023 bond issues for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. TBCC expects to make changes related to grants that weren't anticipated when the budget was developed. Local budget law does allow for budget increases after adoption without limitation on amount. After budget adoption, budget increases of over 10% in any fund require that we publish a supplemental budget hearing notice and hold a public hearing prior to adopting a supplemental budget.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments on the budget? Hearing none. I will close the public hearing. All right. So we're closing the public hearing at 5:03. That was quick and easy. All right. And opening the regular TBCC board meeting. I'd like to acknowledge our guests in the room tonight. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. And we'll move right into the consent agenda, and I will entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And I will accept a motion for approval of the May 11, 2026 meeting minutes, assuming that we don't have any changes. Do we have any changes? Questions?
I move approval of the May 11th, 2026 meeting minutes. Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, now we move on to invitation for public comment. Available at the beginning of the meeting is an opportunity for the public to comment on any issue within the jurisdiction of Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education. Do we have any public comments tonight? Please.
I'm Gary Bond. I am an adjunct faculty here. And I did send an email to board members today so that you have a copy of what I really want to talk about. This it's hard to read word for word a chart. But you will be looking at and considering appendices to the budget today in your agenda. And I wanted to point out some of the pay scale for adjuncts in there and, what is kind of big differential between regular faculty and adjunct faculty in the pay scales. And that is roughly half, that adjuncts are paid roughly at half the rate as regular faculty. As well as the hourly rate for attending meetings is extremely low. And it has been talked about that we don't want students to be heading into unsustainable job markets and we don't want staff in unsustainable job markets and with a $35 an hour minimum at the college, but adjuncts are set to be paid $20 an hour for attending meetings. So I have a little more detail in the document I emailed. And I hope you will take a look at that and consider that as you look at improving the appendices.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have any additional public comments? Okay.
Can I
Thank
just say, as a follow-up to that, I would like to know and compare throughout the state, other community colleges, what the rates are. Have you jumped into that, Gary?
I didn't take a hard look at that. I did a few minutes of research. Actually, I found that a couple of years ago, there was a proposal for a state law to require the community colleges to pay adjuncts at the same rate that they pay regular faculty. I presume that that didn't become law because clearly we're not in compliance with that concept. But so that the data in that was a couple years old. And at that time, the data they had was a lot of similar things at the community colleges. I would say the TBCC was probably in the middle of the pack there. There was anywhere from 30% to 70% at that time. The data that they had collected, which they approached the way they presented the information a little different than I did. I looked at they looked at it from the top pay scales, and I looked at it from the bottom pay scales. So there's I compared a little bit differently than they did. So I don't have a lot more details on that to offer.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay.
Let's talk about this a little bit more when we get to that item, shall we?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so then, welcome, Romy.
Thank you.
We will move into item 4, new business, 4A, adoption of the budget and resolution authorization. I'll turn it back over to Dave.
Do we just want to read through the resolution, or how do you want that sent there?
Well, what's your preference, Paul?
Yeah, I think that we should probably read the resolution. The board will need to vote on each item separately in the resolution as the only stipulation.
Okay,
That hasn't been changed, I don't believe, unless Dave indicates that it has since the budget committee meeting.
Okay, so we'll just start with the resolution 1, adopting the budget. Be it resolved that the Board of Tillamook Bay Community College District hereby adopts the budget for fiscal year 26-27 in the total of $26,513,812. This budget is now on file at the district business office in Tillamook, Oregon. Want to look through the general fund budget. There is what what we had looked at previously. Read any of the numbers there? Everyone just want a minute to take a look at the figures?
I'll ask the board, would you like a moment to review this?
It was in the packet, so.
Yeah,
I'm good.
it was.
You know, Lori, I don't get the packages. I haven't been getting them,
Oh,
and I'm
no,
still not getting them.
I'm so sorry, I'm not sure why.
So I come in blind and then I have to.
I'm sorry,
read that
Marilyn.
screen. It's not a big deal, but it's been going on.
So it's a big deal, yeah. So would you like a moment to review this then, Marilyn?
No, I mean, I remember it from,
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I
Okay,
just would, it would be good for me to have these things. I need to review.
for sure, yeah.
I know.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 1.
I move we adopt resolution 1 for the 2026-2027 budget.
I second that.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, let's go on to resolution 2.
Okay, resolution 2 is the making appropriations there. Be it resolved that the amounts for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, and for the purposes shown below are hereby appropriated as follows. And that's all our breakdown of the general fund, special fund, financial aid, enterprise, debt service, and capital project fund, and the agency fund.
Questions? From the board?
no,
All right. We don't have any questions. I would entertain a motion to adopt resolution 2. Or approve resolution 2, making appropriations.
I would move we approve resolution 2, making the appropriations for the 26-27 budget.
Thank you.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, on to resolution 3, imposing and categorizing taxes.
Okay, be it resolved that the board of the Tillamook Bay Community College District, that the following ad valorem property taxes are hereby imposed for the tax year 26-27 upon the assessed value of all taxable property within the district. Number 1, at the rate of $1,000 of assessed value of 0.2636 of permanent tax rate in the amount of $1,258,125 for debt service and general obligation bonds. Be it resolved that the taxes imposed are hereby categorized for purpose of Article 11, Section 11B as permanent tax rate 0.2636 for $1,000 and general obligation debt service of 1.258 million. The above 2026-2027 resolution were approved and declared adopted this 8th day of June, 2026.
Thank you.
I have a question. You are stating 0.26 whatever, and our, what I see online here is 0.1831. You thought,
That, yes, that has been updated
okay,
from the prior package there.
oh, really?
This-
Okay.
Yes. This
Okay, well,
should be the
what's online
correct.
here says something else, that's all I'm wondering. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And thank you for paying attention.
Well,
We want more money.
Yes.
Any other questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 3, imposing and categorizing taxes.
I would
I'm-
move that we approve resolution 3, imposing and categorizing taxes at the rates, expressed by, Mr. Sewell's.
And I second that.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. All right. On to 4B, budget appendices. 4B1 is Resolution A1, 2026-2027 non-faculty salary grades.
Okay, and once again, I don't know if we want to read through these or if you guys just want a moment to take a look at this is our current list of titles and grades and.
This reflects the current structures after our reduction in forces. This is current as of now.
So board, would you like a moment to review these? Does anybody want
I'm
Dave to
fine,
read through them?
thank you.
Yeah, I moved it.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve resolution A1, 2026-2027 non-faculty salary grades.
I move approval of resolution A1, 2026-2027 non-faculty salary grades.
Second,
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.
So should that be corrected from a resolution to a budget appendices?
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, will you amend your? will
I
you-
amend my
Thank you.
motion.
Thank you. All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. And budget appendices A2, 2026-2027 staff salary schedule. Dave, is there anything you want to say or read into the record on
Ju-
that?
Yeah, this is the chart that we use, and this is with the 3% COLA increase added in there. The grayed out area is what falls below the rural guided pathways living wage, and the college does not have anyone in that range there. So all of our
Okay.
positions fall outside of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were committed, if I can expand a little bit on this. So this reflects the 3% COLA. We did not award steps. So if an individual this year is step 6, they'll stay at step 6, but they'll have a 3% COLA assigned to that pay. We identified a entry-level living wage in the area for our work with Rural Guided Pathways is a little over $24 an hour. We are on a 1,992 hour work year as opposed to 2080 because we take those 11 holidays, the Fridays in July and August and 2 other holidays off. And so that falls within here. And we were committed to that. If we're going to have programs in that, we do not want to pay people that. And so this reflects that work that we did with that there.
Thank you. All right, board, do we have any questions about this? In that case, I would move approval of budget appendices A2 for the 2026-2027 staff salary schedule.
I move that we approve the A2 26-27 staff salary schedule.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to B3, which is actually B1, 2026-2027 summary of employee benefits. Dave.
This once again, just it lists out the different categories of employment down the left-hand side. The different types of insurance coverage, and then the leave that's available there. So it does break it down a little bit differently depending on if you are a full-time staff or adjunct versus full-time faculty versus a part-time employee that is going to get a percentage of the base rate there.
The difference this year relative to last year is we did increase our insurance benefit amount from $14.20 per month or per pay period to $14.70 per pay period.
Okay. Board, any questions about this?
No.
Not really.
We have none. I would entertain a motion to approve budget appendices B1, the 2026-2027 summary of employee benefits.
I would move to approve budget appendices B1 for 2026-2027 employee benefits.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Let's move on to C1, 2026-2027 regular faculty salary schedule.
So this is for our full-time faculty only here. And they have 4 different categories that they go, as well as their steps based on their level of education. So your minimum qualifications, your master's with 30 semester credits, your master's with 60 semester credits, and a doctorate.
So we're calling for,
Do we have any questions? We don't have any questions. I would move approval, or I would entertain a motion to approve budget appendices C1, 2026-2027 regular faculty salary schedule.
I move to approve C1, which is the regular faculty salary schedule.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, now let's move on to C3, the 2026-2027 adjunct faculty and instructional services pay.
So the adjunct also have 5 different tiers there. And then they have several different categories down the left-hand side there versus, if they're lecturer versus a lab, teaching a lab versus nursing clinical.
Can you speak up a little, Dave? I can't hear you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
On the left-hand side there, you'll see the different categories of the adjunct teachers. If they're teaching a lecture versus a lab or a nursing clinical. And then they have 5 tiers that they can move up across the pay scale. And if you'll see the note at the bottom, it says the adjunct faculty advanced tiers every 500 hours of instruction. So depending on the category they're in, they would bump up to the next tier after 500 hours of instruction.
The 500 or 15?
Uh,
This
the
current-
credit says
Yeah,
500.
it's 500.
The non-credits is 50.
Oh, I
Is that,
see. Got you.
too.
is that
I see
right?
it now.
If I can comment a little.
Please.
Credit out.
So the difference in credits here, right, from lecture versus lab versus clinical versus lecture lab has to do with the amount of hours of contact time a faculty member would have with the students, and that's what's reflected in here, and the amount of preparation work that might be required for that. 1 credit of lab is 3 contact hours per week. It doesn't pay 3 times the amount as lecture because the rationale over the years has been that the amount of prep and grading associated with 1 credit of lab is less than 1 credit of lecture, but it reflects the fact that they're actually spending more time. So there is a differential there that is reflected in these different pay categories that we have here.
So what percentage of our faculty are adjunct versus regular?
Well, are you talking about credits taught or number of bodies?
I guess I'm thinking a number of bodies.
Wow, so number of bodies
Is
we
that a
have,
hard question?
yeah, number of bodies we have, is it 12? 10. 10 full-time faculty, which is low, but I can explain why if you want to have a conversation about that. And we probably have at any given point in time between 30 and 40 adjuncts teaching in a term. We probably have a total of 60 to 70 adjuncts probably that are teach over the period of that. So that's in bodies. In credits taught, if we were to ask the question about credits taught, right, or courses taught or whatever, it's about half. So about half of our credits are taught by full-time faculty and about half are taught by adjuncts.
And are all the adjuncts then part-time? Is that part of the definition?
That is correct. We did, I'm happy to comment about the pay differential if you would like. I can give a little
Yeah.
context. So there's a couple issues here. I mean, community colleges are not funded in a way that would allow us to pay all faculty the same rate. That's just the way it is. The community colleges also tend to have a large number of full-time faculty because we have schedules relative to universities that contract and expand with a population more readily than a university has. So we take advantage of having adjunct faculty to allow us to expand and contract without having to lay people off or hire people on short notice for that. And also we tend to teach a lot more career technical education classes, which are taught by industry professionals for the most part, members of the community that are working, many of them working full-time in addition to teaching for us part-time. We recognized, if you remember about 3 or 4 years ago, I believe this was before you came, started working with us, Gary, we did a salary study with, we had Portland State University do a salary study for us. And we did notice from that salary study that our adjunct faculty were in the lower quartile, I believe it was, for the state in terms of pay. And we recognized that, and in part that made it challenging for us to hire and retain adjunct faculty. So we have been working over the past 3 years to adjust the schedule here to try to close that gap a little bit. We have eliminated 2 bottom steps over the past 3 years and moved faculty up. So we went from a 7-tier to a 5-tier system and moved everybody to the right, if you will, on that schedule when we did that. And we have applied COLA to these schedules every time we've done it. So in the past 3 years, we have actually increased adjunct pay. I'm not saying it's where it needs to be yet, but we're working towards it. We have increased adjunct pay 20% over the past 3 years. This will be the 3rd year here. We did not eliminate a step this time or a tier this time. We just went with the COLA, considering we weren't really clear of our budget situation as we were developing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I have a couple questions about that. So
Yeah.
one, you maybe already answered. It's been 3 or 4 years since we had a salary study.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to ask, now that the college is working with Troop for HR, I would
Sure.
like to ask that between now and this time next year, we consider having Troop do an updated salary study.
Yep, and can we do it? Yes, so a couple things. I will do two things. I think that we'll do a faculty salary study, which will be full-time and adjunct faculty salary. I think that would be helpful to separate the faculty piece out for the salary study piece. We already are planning whether we will get to it this year or not, depending, but we are planning on doing a job reclassification study with all of the rest of our employees. So I want to we need to get our job descriptions updated first. And then we'll do a classification study, and then we'll apply a new salary schedule to the classification study with our staff. Because that's a little bit bigger project, we might not have that salary study complete for the staff by next year, but we'll do our best, but we'll for sure have the classification study, the job description and classification study done. So we'll work on it, but we should be able to, I think we can do that work. Britta, don't you think that's?
I think so.
We've
I'm just
talked
making
about-
a note here and I can reach out to
Yeah.
Amanda to see if that she thinks that that's realistic based on our current contract that we have.
I think the faculty salary study would be a pretty quick one that we can work on. And then the other one, I think is gonna take a little bit longer because we don't have to change job descriptions for the faculty. We just need to look at the salary composition piece.
Okay,
So Britt and I will work on that piece.
great. And by faculty, you are including both
Full-time
full-time
and
and
adjunct.
adjunct. Okay.
And I think
terrific.
that's important, and the reason I say that, just to sort of let the cat out of the bag here, this also kind of confounds things at this institution a little bit. When we did do the salary study 3 years ago, our full-time faculty were some of the highest paid in the state, and our adjunct faculty were some of the lowest paid in the state. So we're trying to bring up the adjuncts, but we haven't brought down, of course, that's always harder, right? The full-time piece. So there's a Gary asked about the parity piece. It's an interesting thing when you look at it on an individual by individual basis, right? Or school by school basis. So we're going to have to look at that parity piece kind of holistically with all of our faculty, I think, from a cost point of view.
Yeah. And I would think also a pay equity point.
100%. I agree with that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other question about this is to Gary's point about the rural guided pathways. Do our adjunct, what we're paying adjuncts match what we've established for rural guided pathways livable wage?
It's hard because that's a full-time position and this is a part-time position, right? So it's hard to look at it that way. But I'll see if I can't put something together for you that analyzes it in a reasonable way, right? Because it is difficult to compare
Yeah.
full-time wages versus part-time wages and the expectation from employees that are part-time versus employees that are full-time. I will mention we did change the meeting attendance rate for faculty if they were actively participating in meetings, as they've been asked to be on a committee and participate. We put that at $30 an hour, recognizing that required more than if someone is just passively attending a meeting. We pay them if they're just attending a meeting but not participating at $20 an hour. So we tried to recognize that there was a difference with that one as well.
Thank you. Well, I agree and understand that's not apples to apples, but I think if we could look at it.
Sure,
in
certainly.
in whatever way.
Yeah, I will put something together, and we don't have another board meeting between now and then, and this might be something that might be good for if you want to do this at our retreat as well.
Oh, it would be good.
Yeah, because
It would be
I
good.
can for sure have something by then. Britt and I can work with Truth to see what our timing would be, maybe for that salary study kind of thing, and we can maybe even have some more information about how we would proceed with that in a timeline.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hourly rate for the RGP living wage is like 24.
24 and
25
change.
an hour, just to correct that.
What's how much?
It's like 2407.
2407.
So, yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I have a quick question for clarification. As we've been going through here and we talk about adjunct and part-time, are we assuming that adjunct equals part-time?
Correct.
Because a lot of these are on here, regular full-time and regular part-time faculty. So you mean regular full-time and adjunct?
No, this is actually, so if we had someone, we should probably clear up the part-time doesn't need to be on there. But we could have a faculty member that we consider a regular faculty member that's a benefited faculty member, but maybe they teach a 0.75.
Oh, okay,
And they would fall in this,
okay,
as opposed to an adjunct that's not guaranteed any kind of a commitment from term to term.
right.
The salary schedule for full-time, regular, full-time, right? Those are the ones, the 10 that we mentioned there.
Uh-huh.
It is an interesting salary schedule. It's unlike many others that you see at community colleges because it awards higher degree attainment. Typically what you see is you meet the minimum qualifications, and then if you have a terminal degree, you get a terminal degree stipend. This is more what you would see in line at like a K-12 system where they're awarding them for kind of advancement
Progression.
along that way. And we don't, so I assume whenever this was started, I don't know how long we've been carrying on this salary schedule. I assume that came out of a K-12 kind of salary schedule that someone had proposed initially.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's something that Troop could help us look at that too and whatever. I mean, it might be an overhaul of the structures and the way we treat things. But yeah, I agree that it's we rely on adjunct faculty to move this institution forward, and we certainly need to find ways to recognize that. And like I said, I do recognize that and have recognized that we were on the lower end for these and are making efforts to try to address that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're quite welcome.
I would like to discuss that at our retreat also.
Yeah, that's what.
Adjunct versus full-time.
Yeah, we'll-
Not only pay, but this kind of recognition of being an adjunct.
Sure.
I was here for 6 years as an adjunct,
Yes,
many years ago,
yes,
and in the dark ages, and it was different back then.
yes.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate the discussion. I appreciate the public comments. I think it's an important, healthy discussion for us to have, and I look forward to continuing the discussion at our retreat.
Thank you.
All right, if we don't have any further discussion on that, I would entertain a motion to approve C1 budget appendices, C3 rather, 2026, 2027 adjunct faculty and institutional services pay.
I move approval of C3, the 2026-2027 adjunct faculty and instructional services pay.
I second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to 4C. Oh, and Gary, I just want you to know that I am sorry I wasn't able to read your email. I didn't know. So Suzanne and I were on a tour all day long today, and I didn't know. So I'll read it after the fact, but I'm sorry I didn't get to read it before this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to item 4C, which is board policy 3522, immigration enforcement notification.
Gary, could you forward that to Lori so that she has record of that for public comment? Thank you. Appreciate it. Sure. So, okay. So we have two board policies here that I'm actually asking for action on. They're legally required. They are legally required by the state of Oregon due to legislation that was recently passed in the last session. They need to be in effect, one of them by the first part of September and one of them by the middle of September. We don't have another board meeting until September 8th, I believe it is, or something like that. So
Right.
I figured we would just get them out of the way if you're comfortable with it. As you know, we adopt the Oregon Community College Association Board Library. These are policies that have been drafted and reviewed by legal counsel for OCCA and the state, and they do meet the requirements of the legislation. They both have to deal with how the college responds when non-Oregon or non-Tillamook County or city law enforcement appear on campus. The first one is BP 3522, which has to do with immigration enforcement notification. As you know, for decades, Oregon has been a sanctuary state, and we are not to assist federal immigration authorities solely for the detention of individuals believed to be here illegally. We are required to have a policy in place and a procedure in place to notify campus community and students when immigration officials are on campus. So this is just basically saying that I will ensure that we have the procedures in place to do that. We have a procedure that we have developed, again, with OCCA language, that has already made its way through our college council and is ready for action as soon as the board approves this. So we will be compliant and plenty of time for that. I will say that we already had this in place informally. We just had not had it documented. We have already identified folks that can engage with federal agents, and we have instructed our employees not to engage with federal agents and to refer them to either myself, Britta, or Jason as individuals that have the authority to interact with immigration authorities. So that's VP 3522. I'll take them separately. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address questions about VP 3522.
Do we have any questions?
I just have one. Would this change anything at all that you're currently doing? I know you said it formalizes. Does it add or change anything else?
No, except we would have probably taken a little bit more discretion about under what circumstances, the severity of the circumstances for us to notify students and staff. But now we will notify them, right? And so we won't make that judgment call. If there is an inquiry on campus, we'll make that call. In the past, if someone would have come in and identified themselves and then turned around and left, I probably wouldn't have told anybody, right? Because I don't need to create an issue where there isn't one. But in this case, we would notify people of circumstances. So no, it doesn't really change anything. We're still just as committed to the health and safety of our community as always. This just outlines notification, which I think is important as well.
Thank you for your question. Any more questions? Okay. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve VP 3522, immigration enforcement notification.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, on to D, which is BP 7610, federal out-of-state law enforcement operation.
So similar, but a little bit broader in scope. This is a requirement that we will have procedures in place that direct the campus community on how to interact with federal or out-of-state law enforcement operations if we feel that if we are intentionally assisting an out-of-state officer or a federal officer with a procedure or condition that we know would interfere with a person's rights in the state of Oregon. So basically that means that they won't be discriminated against for political, religious, social views, association, or activities, right, for the most part. So we will have procedures in place that would outline who has the ultimate authority to be able to permit these actions from taking place. This one's a little bit wordy, more wordy than the other one, but basically is if there's
authority.
What's that?
Broader authorities to deal with.
Yeah, but Oregon has broader definitions than the federal definition. So that's why this is in place here, is that we are adhering to Oregon definitions of discrimination and protected classes rather than federal definitions.
Okay.
And we also have a procedure that has made its way through our governance structures as well for operation and
Okay. Do we have any questions for Paul on this? No, if not, I will entertain a motion to approve board policy 7610, federal out-of-state law enforcement operations.
I would move that we adopt board policy 7610, federal and out-of-state law enforcement operations.
I second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to item 5, information only, service area review, opportunity programs, and Director Case.
Hey, thank you. So nice to be here with all of you today. My name is Jenny Case, and I'm the Director of Opportunity Programs, and I'm here to share our program with you.
Just 1 second. Let me get it switched over.
Jenny, could you project more?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Please.
We need
Thank
like
you.
lapel mics.
I thought it was me.
Yeah.
We probably have a microphone.
Thanks.
Oh, that mic's for just online now.
Oh,
Handheld mic or can you?
Is
You
this
wanna
loud
bring your chair
enough?
up here?
I could. I
No.
mean, whatever. I'm open.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
We won't be offended if you yell at us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Cheryl, I'm ready for the next one. Thank you. So the programs that are included under the opportunity programs are STEP, which is the SNAP Training and Employment Program, the Resource Navigator, which is part of the Basic Needs Oregon program, the Inclusive Career Advancement Program, which is ICAP, Pathways to Opportunity, or PTO, our TBCC Food Pantry, and emergency funds. So those are the different programs I'll be talking about today. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Did you hear Jenny?
More or less, yes.
Okay. So the staff for the programs are myself, the director, and then we have a resource navigator, and then 1 to 2 work study students. And this is Susie McAdams, our wonderful TBCC Pantry work study student, worked so hard. And we actually next, a week from today, we'll be hiring our, a resource navigator. Yes, what's that? Yeah. Or pardon me, part of scholarship, yes, sorry. Thanks, Rhoda. Okay. And so the first program is STEP, which is the SNAP Training and Employment Program. This program is a partnership with Portland Community College, Oregon Employment Department, and the Oregon Department of Human Services. So through this program, I am the coordinator and meet with students on this. We meet every month. I provide case management, just do check-ins, make sure that they have everything that they need. If they need to be connected to different resources internally or externally, I work on that with them. Some of the support services that are included with that are tuition, transportation costs, training materials and gear. So like for our nursing assistant, our medical assistants, we can do scrubs, welding students, we can do different, gear for them and so on. We can also help with testing fees, utility or rent payments, classes. It's pretty broad, what we can do for the students. And we also, through that program, we can provide support to both credit and non-credit students.
Great.
And this is Naomi. I've been working with her for a couple years, and she's actually graduating on Friday.
Yay.
Healthcare admin,
Yeah.
so really thrilled.
This is cool, Jenny. What popped into my mind is safety net. I thought, oh, this is so good for people who need it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I
No, I
interrupted.
appreciate that. Thank you. So the resource navigator works closely with students to connect them with resources and support that they need to be successful in their programs. They're responsible for assisting students in applying for available state, federal benefits and other resources. They refer students to internal and external partners for additional support. They help coordinate student and community events. And we are expanding this position to include high school visits to share information about our dual credit program. And
Great.
else. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, so Angelica Ortiz was our prior resource navigator, and she would help with everything from connecting students to internal and external resources, to helping students complete healthcare applications, and would organize like financial literacy workshops and things. So really provided a lot of great support for students. Okay, thanks, Chuck. Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the other programs included, Pathways to Opportunity, which is a statewide initiative provided by the Oregon President's Council and the Higher Education Coordinating Commission's Office of the Community College and Workforce Development. The mission is to increase equitable student success and economic mobility and increase access to resources and services that can better support students facing financial barriers to attend and complete college. And that funding supports STEP, resource navigation, and other programs. And so that through that program, we're able to provide, it's very flexible. We're able to provide various types of support for students, like test fees that also help support student or STEP students. And it's a really nice resource. We can kind of help students as they need with that. ICAP is a partnership with ODHS Voc Rehab. It's kind of similar to STEP, but a different partnership there. And we've been able to use those funds to help our accessibility services folks get training and pay for different memberships. We're part of the community of practice for that one. And then emergency funds are financial assistance provided to students experiencing unexpected challenges such as loss of income, housing issues, or family emergencies that may interfere with the ability to stay enrolled and succeed in their program. And these funds offer short-term support so that students are able to continue their program without interruption. So we do a variety of different support for students with that. Tires, housing, all kinds of things. So it's a great resource as well. Okay, and then our TBCC food pantry. The Hope Survey published in February of 2025 found that 41% of college students experience food insecurity. So our pantry is a really important resource for both students and community members. And in 2025, we distributed 17,386 pounds of food. So we're really thrilled. And we were just talking about how that started with Pat, I think, just worked creating that box in the Commons, and it's grown so beautifully. So
Well done.
yeah, it's wonderful to have that. And we just, lots of visitors there. And approximately 2,054 individuals received food assistance in 2025. And we offer culturally familiar food, hygiene products, and pet food. We have a great partnership with Oregon Food Bank. And so we have a resource from there as well as internal resources. So it's just feel very grateful to have that. And on the left, those are bags that we put together for Thanksgiving and Christmas for students.
Nice.
Okay, and then part of the review, I reached out to other community colleges to kind of see what their programs were like, similar programs. And I conducted 3 interviews. 2 with resource coordinators at Rogue Community College and 1 with a former STEP navigator from Blue Mountain Community College to understand better just our shared practices and our challenges. So our common goals were to increase program visibility, maintain updated web resources, and use classroom visits for outreach. So different ways to make sure students are aware of our programs. Shared challenges, limited staffing, high demand for basic needs support, and then funding constraints. And then some effective strategies that we had talked about were having student employees, just kind of across the board. That was mentioned as a way to create that atmosphere so that students felt comfortable coming and kind of had that those advocates out there. And then some campuses use structured systems to manage resources equitably. And then for the opportunity was hiring a student employee could significantly expand our reach and impact. And these conversations highlighted both common challenges and practical ideas we can use to strengthen our services. And I was just going to say Susan Bain at Rogue works closely with their pantry, and that again was just something she said that she found to be really impactful was having a student. And yeah, and then of course similar struggles of figuring out how to distribute things equitably. And one of the things that I mentioned is having a checkout process with software that we've been talking about looking into for our program as well. Okay, and so for the SWOT analysis of the programs, I asked for input from the student services team, as well as the community and continuing ed coordinator for just some feedback about the program. I know there's a lot of text on this one. So for strengths, so these are all things that were shared by that group. There was actually quite a bit more because it was for all of the programs, but I kind of condensed it so that it captured the overall feedback. So for strengths, there was exceptional leadership and highly dedicated, equity-minded bilingual staff who are trusted by students and community partners. Strong alignment with TBC's mission of access, equity, and student success. Broad student support includes fuel cards, testing fees, emergency funds, and basic needs resources that help students persist and complete. Well-used, visible programs provide tangible, immediate help to first generation and underserved students. Some weaknesses were reliance on federal and grant funding. Program visibility across campus could be stronger. Some faculty staff may not fully understand the services that are offered. And external community resources for referrals can sometimes be limited. Okay, for opportunities, rising community needs and expanding academic pathways increase the program's potential impact. Collaborate with the TBC's Career Center once it's complete to link students to internships, jobs, and living wage pathways. New building and pantry location create opportunities to improve visibility, access, and layout. So that's something that we'll be looking at too, is moving the pantry to a different area. It's work in progress. For challenges, uncertainty in federal and state funding, rising student basic needs such as housing, childcare, food, etc., may outpace available resources. And then shifts in higher ed policies such as FAFSA or Pell Grant eligibility could impact student access. Thank you. And then for the service area outcomes, our previous SAO focused on increasing awareness of support programs through a new webpage and outreach effort, which we did, and the webpage looks great. This has allowed us to increase reach and inform students of the different support programs. We're working on a plan, moving forward, to track using multiple measures, to track impact across programs. Steph survey feedback has been positive, with students noting strong support and valuable outcomes, including job-ready skills like CDL certification. And then from July 2020 to 2025, 65 STEP students earned certificates or degrees in fields such as computer literacy, phlebotomy, welding, EMS, medical assisting, and CDL training. And that does not include GED students that were supported at that time. And then just a more current update, since October 25, 18 STEP students have been awarded certificates or degrees. 2 have completed their GED and 1 has completed property management training. Okay, and then for future goals, relocating the pantry, technology, and part of that technology was we have a new STEP database that PCC put forward, and they've done the training and so on. And that actually was implemented in October. And so that's been a really easy way to pull data too. So that's been nice. And then more specific data, increasing outreach and expanding funding resources. So yes, let me see. So yes, we've been looking at increasing collaboration with the TBC Foundation and other resources. And then, yes, just working on thinking about getting creative that way and looking at other grant opportunities and so on. And then for final thoughts, the opportunity programs continue to grow and provide essential academic and personal support to students, many of whom face systemic barriers to success. With continued support, we'll be able to sustain and expand high impact services that directly contribute to student retention, academic success, and mission fulfillment. Restore staffing support to ensure consistent daily operations and student engagement. So at the time that I did this, we didn't have a work study student, but now we do, and that's been great. And then using technology to improve communication and outreach and streamline data collection. And the opportunity programs are essential for TBC students. With continued support and careful planning, we are confident that the opportunity programs at TBCC will remain a strong and effective resource for the students who rely on them. And yes, I just wanted to add that I just feel very grateful to work with these students. It's just so satisfying, you know, when they come in and they really feel like they've got this huge barrier, and then when they walk out and they just feel hopeful, like they're going to be able to continue on. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for this report, and thank you for your work. We have heard a number of times from students when students are talking about the things that are particularly helpful to them. Your name, we've heard your name a lot of times, and it's, and I can see why. I can see why, you know, when students are facing a particular challenge that, like you said, might keep them out of school. You know, if you can solve that for them, that's remarkable and so meaningful. So thank you. Thank you for your heartfelt work.
Thank you.
That was,
Please.
that was a beautiful presentation.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you very
Very
much.
well.
Typical Jenny.
Oh.
Well, it was very clear and easy to follow, and it is also amazing to think of all these students that you touch, that you reach. It's amazing. You said you had a work study. Where does the work study person come from?
They're one of our students.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. And so she, yes, so we, the only hard part is that then they graduate.
Right.
And you miss it, but there's always more wonderful ones coming in, but yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Sounds
so
like
much.
everything.
Yeah, great program, no doubt about it.
Yes.
How many students do you serve? Did you say that somewhere along the line, or, but in a typical year, how many students are going through? I mean, it's as impressive as all get out that you've
Right.
got close to 90 that have completed in some fashion.
Right.
I wonder how many of them wouldn't have without the support.
That is a great question. I don't have that data right now, but I'd be
Okay.
happy to get that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Another comment is this food pantry is one of the coolest exercises in continuous improvement. Because it literally did start as a cardboard box outside the door of that office. And it went through probably 20 iterations at this point and moved from here and there. And it was in the library and it was out of the library and it was back in the library and it was, and it went round and round and round. And now there's 20,000 pounds of food
Right.
going through
amazing.
there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Where are you gonna move it to?
We're not sure right now. We're thinking of, different options. Yeah. We've thought about Jason's old space there, in the lobby, but we're still kind of working out those details.
More visible than where it is now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And folks from the community access that as well as students?
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's really nice. And Susie is great with folks and she'll have conversations with people that come in and they share, oh, it'd be really helpful to include this. So that's really nice too, to get feedback from students and community members.
With regard to donations, I know there had been a pause on outside donations and that, is that still the case or is that gonna be an opportunity to contribute to that again?
Yes,
Or
we
what's the-
are able to take donations.
Okay.
Yes, and I can, we have a QR code for our Amazon wish list as well as others. There's just some guidance around things that we aren't able to accept, but we are taking donations. Yes.
Also note that if you make a donation to the foundation, you can designate it as a food pantry and then it's
pantry.
tax deductible. You'll get a receipt. We just give the money directly to Jenny and she can purchase what they need.
Specifically what?
Correct.
That's great.
Great.
That's great. Thank you.
Could that link be sent out to the board, like how to
Absolutely.
donate, so we could share that?
To you guys during the last food drive with the link and the instructions on how to, so I could resend that to you.
That would be great.
Please. Thank you. That's wonderful. When you were talking about that, Jenny, I was remembering when I was a young, poor, hungry college student, I lived on Taco Bell bean burritos because it was a long time ago and they were 59 cents. And so I could get 2 bean burritos for $1.18 and it was totally satisfying.
Yes.
You were rich. I ate 10-cent top ramen.
Now those 2 bean burritos are $17.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Smaller.
You couldn't get anything for $1.18 anymore. It's true.
I never even went to any sort of restaurant whatsoever in all of my, at least the first 2 years of undergrad, probably all 4 years of undergraduate school. Unless someone took me out, that was the only way I went out anywhere, because
Yeah.
even at $1.18, you could get a lot more food at the grocery store for $1.18 in those days than you could at Taco Bell. So, yeah. I made my own yogurt. I did, well, I
Wow.
still do that, but yeah, I
That's
was,
impressive.
I was just really, frugal. I had to be. There was no money, so, yeah. But I never really went hungry.
It's good.
Jenny, what funding how much funding are you looking for? What are you short?
Well, like for the software, I'm actually talking to that company, so I'm not sure exactly on prices right now of things, but yeah, I can get something that out for sure.
For the food pantry, are there specific things that you're missing
Oh,
or that you'd like
thank
to
you.
buy?
Yes, well, things, you mean like items that folks need in the pantry, for example, like, like, I don't know, diapers are big, cooking oil is really, that's a big one. Toothpaste, let's see what else, flour, toilet paper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do we still have a clothing pantry?
We have put a pause on that, but when we move to a new location, then we'll start doing that
Yeah.
again. Yes.
Especially next fall.
Any other questions?
Just how cool.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you
very
for that. Good.
much.
Yeah, thanks for being with us too.
Pleasure.
Okay, if we don't have anything else for Jenny, we can move on to, we don't have a student today. Do we have a ASTBCC report in our students' absence? No? Okay, that's okay. All right, let's move on to the financial report.
Okay, we're looking at the financial through the end of April. So we would be 83.33% through the fiscal year at this point. As far as revenue, we've collected almost all the revenue at this point in here. We're gonna see just a little bit of property tax come in and a little bit of interest still trickle in, but the bulk of our revenue has come in there. Through the expenditures, they're running around 68 to 71% for most of the departments there. So we're 13 to 14% below expenditure rate there. A lot of that is due to the reduction in force and the very deliberate actions we've taken to reduce our expenses there. We do have an arbitrage payment coming up for the bond interest that this bond generated for this building. We will probably be making that this week. I know it's probably been a while. I think it was probably discussed last year. It was maybe the last time you guys heard about it, but
Time Doug Olson was here.
yeah.
That was his big-
But that's around 250,000. We're getting the final calculations on that, so we'll be paying that out probably this week. So that'll.
And do you have a
Certainly.
rough estimate about what interest we did draw?
I think our total is right around 1.3. So we generated probably a little over $1 million in interest revenue. So and we turned around and put some of that back in here. So any questions on financial?
Any questions for Dave? No. All right, thank you. And let's move on to the construction update.
Great, thank you. Busy time. AHS building, we had an exciting week last week. We were able to excavate and replace our leaky tank that some
Great.
people have heard of. That was basically a big tank in the ground that unfortunately had some leaks in it. We successfully pulled that out of the ground, put a new one in. So they'll be paving over that Monday, the 15th, striping it, and it'll be a whole parking lot. So kind of button up the last visual impact of construction for the campus.
And then that's done. That problem is solved.
That problem is solved.
Yay.
So that is part of our storm retention system, which is very critical. That will give us back to a much higher capacity in case of a surge, if there's a storm. So that is great news. We had crews here all last week. They worked all weekend. So it's greatly appreciated that they got it all in and flowing again for today's rain event. So great news. We're also continuing to work through our punch list on this building. We're dwindling down. We do have some outstanding projects that we're currently working through, but they are getting fewer by the day. So we're getting ready to close out this project and move on to the next project. CIT building is wrapping up. We're currently installing heavy equipment. So we received our delivery of a new Haas CNC mill and our lathe, and our Haas CNC mill, which has been stored at the port, will be making its way over to the building tomorrow. So we're starting to install the large heavy equipment so that we can get that building online to start fall term. We've currently started asset tagging and working with everything at the high school, making a plan to start moving all those assets over to that building, as well as surplusing anything we don't need. We're planning on working with the high school, and anything that we don't need that they can utilize, we'll probably surplus and donate to the high school. So that project is moving along great. SLS, we are full steam ahead on our remodel plans. We started working with Pacific WRO, which is a company out of Portland that specializes in higher education remodels, mainly furnishings and the use of furnishings. We're working with the space committee, coming up with a basic plan that we can start building on, which will allow us to work on budget and scheduling. So that is moving forward. So hopefully we can start getting closer to implementing some changes in the SLS building, which is great news. The whole campus is currently going through a campus-wide access control upgrade, which will encompass all of our buildings. They'll be all connected in a main system, which allows us to, again, raise our safety and security bar. The system will allow us to monitor all doors, exterior doors, as far as who can come and go through buildings, what times. It also deploys new intrusion detection in all 4 of our buildings, protect assets. So that is ongoing. That is scheduled to be complete tomorrow. So a lot of programming, a lot of changes on campus. Basically all the little badges that scan you in and out of rooms, those are all being replaced and upgraded and reprogrammed. So quite a big project that we're buttoning up. So that concludes my report. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Will you, I was thinking, when could we see the CIT building when it's complete, but without, maybe before the September board meeting? Like when it's
That'd be
complete,
great.
but without interrupting classes and students, et cetera?
Be nice. We'll have equipment installed at that point, and yeah, it'll look really nice.
That would be
It's a
great.
idea.
Great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'd love to do it.
Thank you. Anything else for Jason?
He's not working hard enough.
He's gonna run out of things to do.
His son's getting married,
Oh,
Wait.
congratulations.
Father's Day, June 19th
Father's Day.
on Sunday.
Congratulations.
So I'm taking a little time off if I can make it through graduation. It's a busy week this week. A lot going
Yeah.
on.
Bet. Lots of planning.
Okay, well, enjoy your well-deserved time off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's move on to the president's report.
Thank you. So a few kind of exciting things that I think about here. Our enrollment strong. Looks like we're up year over year about 8%. So that we continue to grow. At some point, I suspect we'll see a little bit of a leveling off, but I do think that growth reflects a couple of things. We have had some really intentional redesign on how we message registering to students. So we're getting them registered sooner. As a result of that, that makes us more efficient because that means that Michael can take a look at the classes that we're offering, seeing how they're filling, eliminating ones that we just know aren't going to fill based upon the early registration. So I think that we had our best couple of terms yet, certainly our best year yet on early registration by students, and also the fewest number of classes I believe that we've had to cancel in quite some time. So good work with that. And I think, we're continuing to try to refine that scheduling piece to really hit the sweet spot for students. So that's exciting. You may have heard us talk about, we had our Rural Guided Pathways coach, Chris Wickstrom, who's from Patrick and Henry College in Martinsville, Virginia. He was out here May 26 and 27 to work with our Guided Pathways team, just to he's basically helping us focus a little bit, and I have a tendency to put too much on the list, and he's taking things off the list. We obviously have to have a chat about that, but he really is trying to help us focus. One of the areas that we were doing a lot of work in that was important for us, but we hadn't really called out as part of this, or in line, I guess we should say, with a lot of this work, and is that a lot of the work we're doing around dual credit. We have really made a concerted effort to engage with the high schools more, create more intentful pathways with them. And that's been going pretty well. We have worked with Tillamook Education Consortium, which is TBCC plus the 3 county school districts. And we are working on ways to coordinate better amongst ourselves. Perkins funding, federal funding for technical education, and also dual credit since we all work together. And through the consortium and Northwest Regional ESD, we are going to hire a dual credit coordinator and funding by Tech and Northwest Regional ESD. And also take advantage of their staff to help us with regional coordination for Perkins with the Oregon Department of Education. It's hard for small schools because we just don't have the capacity to have a full-time coordinator for a lot of these things. To get $120,000, it doesn't make a lot of sense to us for that. We are joining actually with Clatsop Community College in trying to show that we are being good stewards of money and doing shared services and shared programs where it makes sense for our areas. And I think this is one where it makes a lot of sense to think more regionally in terms of workforce development. As I've mentioned many, many times, we do not have enough good paying jobs in Tillamook County to meet the needs of the people that need a good paying job in Tillamook County. So we're looking more at a regional approach to that. Of course, we want them to live in Tillamook County and work in Tillamook County, but if that can't work, maybe they can live in Tillamook County and work out in Tillamook County as long as they bring their dollars back to Tillamook County and spend them. So we're looking at trying to address some of those issues there. And I feel pretty good about it. It's just a different model, but I think it's going to work out well for us in this landscape that we're moving into. I did meet May 14th and 15th, and actually in June, we just had a meeting last week with OPC. We also last month met with OCCA board. Much of the talk at the President's Council centers around House Bill 4124, which is the bill that requires HEC to produce a report to submit to the legislature basically on the state of the system of higher education, lowercase s system of higher education in Oregon. There's a lot of anxiety among the different institutions about that, myself included in that, because when I start hearing the words efficiency and things like that, I worry being a small rural college when people start talking about efficiency. So I do worry about that. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of kind of concern around that. I'm going to the best of my capability, trust the process and then see what the outcome is. And then I'll be as vocal as I need to be advocating for not only Tillamook Bay Community College, but the needs of rural community colleges and community colleges in general that support our communities and add vibrancy to it. So I'll keep you posted on those developments there. And of course, there's a lot of talk right now about funding for the next biennium. We know as we move into the long session, we have indications that we know that community colleges and higher education in general, and education needs more money to maintain current service levels. But we also know that the likelihood of there being additional monies, at least currently, because of when Medicaid cuts kick in, there's going to be some tough decisions for our legislators, and everybody's going to be positioning themselves to advocate as they should, but we all know that money's limited and there's going to be some tough decisions to be made. We won't have a sense probably of the governor's recommended budget until December of, in the following year, when the elections are open. We'll start having an idea about that. So we'll get a sense moving forward for that there. OCCA met and had a few things to comment on. Betsy, do you want to talk about OCCA?
Yeah, what I want to talk about actually is their newest information that I've sent to everybody. And I just want to pinpoint a couple. OCCA wants to hear from you. They are seeking your input to help shape future governance, education, leadership development, professional learning possibilities. And so they're asking you to take a survey, and it's on the OCCA, that thing that I sent out, the OCCA digest. I just sent it out. It's right there, and it's called OCCA Wants to Hear from You. So please put your information in there if you don't mind. It says click here to take survey. Also, the June Lunch and Learn is going to be on June 25th. And you can register. It's for free. Let's see, you register right on this form that I sent you, and they're talking about public meetings law, which all board members have to do. I think it's a yearly thing,
Yes.
every year. So that's really important to do that. It's right on this form that I sent you. So you have to register. It happens on June 25th. I don't know if that's a possibility for everyone. Also coming up, of course, is the yearly conference. I don't know if you're going to talk about that. That's November 4th through 6th. It's going to be in Sun River this year. And the topic is community colleges work for Oregon, work in big, huge letters. So critical role board members, college leaders, and partners play in that success. And they're inviting staff, faculty, people, board members to propose dynamic and engaging possibilities to present at the conference, which is in November. Okay, that's basically it.
And it's a good, we usually take a pretty good contingent from TBCC. I think
Right.
it's a worthwhile trip. So board members, if you're interested, at some point, when we get more information, Lori will send that out and she'll coordinate, making sure we get people registered, signed up, and whatever those that want to go.
Right.
Okay,
I'm done.
great. So Britta and I met with Gustavo Guerrero and what's her name, Becca?
Yes.
Becca, I can't recall her last name. She's the education policy advisor in DC for Senator Merkley. We met with Merkley's representatives on May 27th for a brief, a little bit. We gave them a tour of the facilities. We talked about the needs of community colleges. We talked about budgets. We talked about the state of the Department of Education currently. So again, just trying to get some feedback. They were trying to get some feedback on what are some of the needs. And as you know, Senator Merkley's been very good to our area and this college and continues to be so. So that was really good to maintain those contacts with Senator Merkley's representatives.
Becca does
Monte. Yeah, she's very good. I can't recall how long she's been with him, but for a little while there. So that was a good meeting. I'll mention that because I don't think I put it on here because I guess I forgot. We had a meeting with the Legislative Finance Office here on campus. Kim, can't recall her last name. I'm not good with names. She and Jim Pinkard, who's in charge of finances for the HEC, they're They're traveling the state, visiting, wandering just aimlessly through the state. So they're traveling throughout the state to visit all 24 public institutions and asking for, just comments and whatever. I may have gotten a little excited and animated when I talked about shared services in House Bill 4124, which seems to be what we spent most of our time on. But it was really about the sort of financial needs of community colleges and are there ways to mitigate some of the impacts of that through shared services. Not only business services, but academic programs. We had a lot to share of good things that we're doing at this college. And I also shared a little bit of my anxiety around House Bill 4124. So much to the point that I guess Abby Lee, the director of OCCA, got a call from Jim. She then called me. So at any rate.
Well, I would just like to say, good for you.
Yeah. All is good.
Let them know what's on our minds.
That's right.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Everybody does good work, but we have to represent the interests of our constituents, and that's what I was doing, and I will continue.
Good.
And I believe wholeheartedly in the work that we do and the importance of that work. So we continue, Britta and I in particular, continue to stay deeply engaged in a lot of that external affairs and governmental affairs work there. Budget, I don't need to go through that since you adopted it. Thank you very much. We're continuing navigating through some transitions, campus transitions with buildings, human resources implementation with True, looking at our IT infrastructure and ways that we can collaborate with other institutions around IT. I will say that all of these things, to one, maybe our earlier conversation point, it brings a lot of anxiety on campus, right? There's a lot of anxiety with our employees, having gone through reductions in force, having gone through some of these major changes that are occurring. It is a lot. Michael mentioned, there's just a lot. Most institutions academic institutions move at a snail's pace. And we had moved at a snail's pace for quite a while, and we're at a slug's pace. What's a one step above the snail? We're moving pretty
A
quick.
sloth.
Sloth pace. Three-toed though, not two, right? Yeah, we are implementing changes that, at a sort of a pace that's not. And so we're trying to mitigate some of that. And I do know that I have some work to do, and my team have some work to do across campus to kind of rebuild some of that trust and security and confidence around the work that we're doing. I feel good about the work we're doing, but change is challenging, especially when there's a lot of it all at once. So you'll probably continue to hear gripes here and there about things that are going on. I encourage you to my intention is to address them when they come up. I encourage you, when you hear them, to say, have you talked to Paul? Because we want to create opportunity and space for people to air these issues in ways that they don't feel threatened, in the spaces where they don't feel threatened. So we're going to be looking at having some listening sessions and things like that throughout the upcoming few months to try to bring some of these things out in ways that are actually, we can produce actionable items from them. So we're committed to doing that. But amidst all of the changes and amidst all of the anxiety across campus, there's a lot of really good things happening. We will see some of that. We got to have Jenny organized the student award and recognition evening last week. Was well attended by probably 150-ish people. A lot of students. We announced and named the faculty of the year. It went to is she just in her second year? Jennifer Fleming.
Full-time,
yeah, full time's in her second year with us. She's a math teacher, and she was honored as teacher of the year, which is really exciting. To see a math teacher get that right, which was really good. And she's really good.
So who selects that person?
The students.
Okay.
The students nominate and write letters to the committee. And there's a committee that's run by Claire Sabatka, who is our librarian, director of library services.
Claire's here.
Oh, Claire's here. Oh, you're behind Michael's nice booth. I can't see. So yeah, Claire runs that committee, and then she shares out comments, and we even if people aren't selected, the nominees, we share all of the comments that student made for the nominees and whatever. So it's a really nice thing to do. And we had how many off the top of your head that were nominated?
There was 29.
29.
Wow.
One was a staff member.
Oh, that's,
So then it was 28, but there's 29.
yeah. Yeah, so that's always a fun time.
That's good when we don't have.
So a lot of good work. So we just had that recently. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Tomorrow evening, June 9th, at
5:30.
5:30, I didn't write it down here. We will have a nursing pinning ceremony downstairs. If you're interested and around and want to come see
You're gonna be there.
some exciting nursing pinning. This will be the pinning of our second cohort who was up here studying like the Dickens all day today because they have a final tomorrow morning. And then they have pinning tomorrow night. So we'll see tears of sadness and tears of joy all within about a 12-hour span. So feel pretty good about that. Again, real excited for the success of that program as that keeps moving along.
And that'll be in the community room?
Yep, that'll be downstairs in the community space. I believe it's set up. Is it the full setup? The full space?
Yes.
Yeah, full space.
Wow.
So it'll be a lot of fun down there. We have something on Friday at 5:30, graduation, Friday at 5:30. If you are participating in Graduation, we do have regalia, I think, for everybody. Get here a little early. Do we?
I've got some notes from Angel, and the reason she sent you guys an invitation to come to rehearsal, you certainly don't have to, but it will be slightly different this year as we'll have the ramps. We have a student in a wheelchair, so things will look a little bit different, not hugely. But so she's asking for arrival at 4:30 for gowning and photos. We line up at 5. The regalia includes a black gown, a white stole, black cap, and white tassel. She got even board member stoles. We know that Mary Jones will speak following Paul's, all of his introductions. So she's excited, I can tell.
Oh, just wait, Mary.
Mary Faith will be the one handing out the roses to the grads during the presentation of diplomas again. And then the question was, do you want Betsy to assist, or do you need that? And or do we want, last year, I think the remaining board member students shook hands too, and we can certainly accommodate that if you're wanting to do that again. So she was just kind of wondering so that we could make sure that we map that out if you're going to do that. If you
And
wanted to
remember,
stand
where
up.
is this taking place?
Dairy Barn.
Dairy Barn, not here.
No, because we're gonna have a good 600-700 people there.
Wow.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of students, again, requesting 15-20 people, bringing their families, so.
Yeah. With the roses, I'm maybe not having both of us hand them out, but just because I'm trying to picture how students would know which of us to go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
And there
I
is,
can
there's
appreciate that.
always an
And it-
awkward thing as they walk through. for
Yeah, and
photos
it is-
roses and-
Right.
Angel, I don't know if, how many of you know Angel Kavanaugh? She's kind of taken over a lot of the organizing, very organized woman. I feel
Right.
so comfortable. But we are kind of moving things around. I'll be standing to the side instead of in the middle. So she's trying to make it a little bit better. And so again, if you could come a few minutes early just to kind of see how it's slightly different, that'd be great. If not,
Okay,
we'll-
so all of
if
us
not, we can follow
4:30,
somebody.
4:30 instead of
Yes, please.
4:45.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
4:30.
And if we cannot come to rehearsal, which
Yep,
I can't, are there
that's
any
fine.
special instructions?
That was kind of it. So it's
Okay.
gonna be just, and we'll try to, I will let her know. It sounds like we would all like to shake hands. Is that true? Like you did last year? If not,
Sure.
or- You don't have to. I'm asking. That was just something that kind of happened last year.
Did you tell them about the board musical number that?
Wait a minute.
We're
Well,
expecting
we're gonna be
interpretive.
kicking up
It is
our-
Angel, so we're
Under the-
expecting
yeah.
interpretive dance.
That could be fun.
Angel's a dance instructor. If you don't know her, so. Yeah,
So
so.
do we all want to, I think we have a choice
Yeah.
right now to make, do we all want to stand up in front and shake graduates' hands? In the past, we have all done it and we have not all done
Correct.
it. So
Right, back and forth.
So that's an opportunity. It's a question.
I think it's okay, or is it, does it
I'm
make
fine
it?
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Does it make it go slower? Is that the deal?
It's fine by the time other people come off. I think there's not room
Yeah.
for everybody on the stage, so you'll be on the exit ramp
Right.
coming down where
Yeah,
they're
sure.
shaking hands while the next one's coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, and we can stagger it. I think Angel's gonna help me stagger it because we read all the information about the new student coming up, so they can be finalizing shaking hands as we start reading them to the
Sure.
students. So,
That's
Okay.
fine.
okay, I will let her know you
Great.
guys are shaking hands.
Sure enough.
nice.
We don't have to shake hands. You could.
That's
Yeah.
High five.
right,
High
that's
five, I do
exactly
that.
right.
Do
Secret
whatever you
handshake.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, thank
If you
you.
know somebody,
I
give them
know,
a
I was
hug.
thinking germs.
Right.
Okay, so that's gonna be exciting, and if you're coming, I appreciate it, Mary, thank you so much for
For volunteering.
for volunteering to speak.
Volunteering, voluntold.
It really is, I mean, you all have been, it's
Yeah.
just the highlight, and
Yeah.
here especially, I can comment, I mean, the support that families in the community give our students here is just amazing, you get 600 people there for 60, people walking across is really amazing.
Well, if I can, at the event this week, or last week, I guess, was the award ceremony, we had the group of, was it the honor students? Yeah, I guess it was the honor students I had up there, and we were acknowledging them, and I asked them each kind of something that helped them succeed, and probably 75% of them said, my family support me.
Yeah,
And so they invite them then to graduation
That's great.
because they're part.
Right.
that's great.
Excellent.
I'm there for those who don't have a family.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's some of those too.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had
Perfect.
the CDL guy too that was there without no one there with him, and he
Yeah.
was kind of embarrassed or
Mm.
lurking. Went up and
But
got
what
his-
when he went up and he commented though, I didn't know who he was because he was standing by himself. I just thought he was a family member of somebody. he went up, when Corey recognized him for, truck driving and he just, wanted to thank, he never, I think he said something to the effect, I never thought I could do something like this, and I just want to thank everybody that supported me along the way. So
Very nice.
okay, so moving on then to next week. On June 18th, we have an employee recognition barbecue. We'll have the actual barbecue will probably start about 3 o'clock. From 2 to 3, I'm going to be doing sort of an all-staff kind of employee recognition event where we're going to be recognizing a couple of things, right? We're going to recognize our employees of the year, our excellence in action of the year. Remember, we recognize one exempt staff member and one non-exempt staff member. So I'm excited to see who that might be this year for those two events. We'll do that. And we're also going to recognize, we haven't done this in a while. We'll going to reinstitute some recognition of longevity for folks that have been here for years of service. We have one individual who's leaving us and not teaching anymore that has been associated with the college for 40 years.
Wow.
John Sandusky.
Oh,
And we have 2 that are over 30 years and they're at the table right here, Michael and Cheryl. We have someone, Holly, at 25 years. So I want to recognize some of these longer serving individuals. So we'll be doing that on the 2 to 3 hour. And then from 3 to 5, yours truly will be catching things on fire.
don't catch yourself on fire.
I get a haircut, so it wouldn't
We
be.
can't do that anymore. We have a better setup now. There will be no fires. So we're in good shape there. So we'll have a barbecue. You're all welcome. Bring yourself significant others or whatever. That would be a lot of fun there for that. And a couple last things. June observances. Obviously, it's Pride Month. I think that's important to recognize. It is also these are all sort of topical for me, at least. Juneteenth is June 19th. That commemorates the end of slavery, and it is also Immigrant Heritage Month, the month of June. So please think about those things throughout the month. Slew of upcoming dates throughout the summer because we do not meet again until the second Monday in September. We have, I mentioned the pending graduation, the barbecue. Juneteenth campus is closed on June 19th. First day of summer term is June 22nd. Our Independence Day holidays, the campus is closed July 2nd and July 3rd. Labor Day, campus will be closed September 7th. And our next regularly scheduled board meeting looks like it's not until September 14th, which happens to be the start of fall term, as our in-service will be September 14th to the 18th. We'll be doing a similar thing like we did last year. If anybody wants to come, we'll send you out an agenda. We'll have a fall conference where we have our employees present sessions on different kind of topics and whatever. So I'll give you more information on that as we get closer to that. And I believe that's about it, except for a couple kudos here. Really, at this time of the year, I just have to thank, well, first of all, kudos to all of our graduates and nursing students, things like that. But kudos to the staff that helped make all of this possible. Full-time, part-time, contracted services. Our students couldn't do this without us. As Marilyn just mentioned, there are a lot of students that we have here that don't have the support that maybe some of us had at home or some of us didn't have at home. And it's important that we provide the space for that, whether it's food and emergency money like Jenny talked about, whether that's just a, hey, how are you doing? Or can I help you with your homework, or just a recognition that goes a long way with our students. So I appreciate our employees that do that. And lastly, a special congratulations to Chair Mary Faith Bell for re-election as County Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And that is my
Thank you.
Question. Is there still a foundation, a joint foundation and board meeting?
Tomorrow at 12.
This
Right
room?
here.
It is, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a lunch. Did you get?
I did,
Oh, okay.
but it wasn't on his list. So.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
right, yeah.
I'm not.
Oh my
I just wanna make sure it's like
right there,
Pages
though.
of notes.
And act surprised when you hear his report, because it's.
Because it's the same one. I'm trying to be more efficient.
Keep trying.
Save paper.
He will be surprised as well.
I'll mix it up a little bit.
Some song and dance.
Okay, so board members, how many of us will be here tomorrow at noon?
I'll be here in two capacities.
Yay.
Wow.
Fabulous.
I love
You got
those.
us all.
Hey.
Really
Oh,
nice.
goodness.
Okay, wonderful.
That'd be a free
So
lunch.
we're on to board concerns. Do we have
Yeah.
anything that hasn't been addressed in the meeting? Please.
Thank you. I'm sorry I won't be able to be here for graduation. I have to be at a meeting in Bend. And it wasn't planned that way. But I have to be there. And I also wanted to report that I was a guest at the South Fork Force Camp GED graduation. And it was very nice. There were 7 men who received their GED. The oldest was 39. And he, in his graduation address, once again highlighted how he is doing this to turn his life around because of bad decisions, and to do this for his grandchildren so that they will be able to see how important it is.
Oh,
Nice.
I have wanted, they are in our district. I have wanted
Yes.
to figure out a way to work with them. It's been challenging. So if you can hook me up with a contact.
Yes, I
there.
can. And the other thing is that in November, they will be celebrating the 75th anniversary of the camp. And they are planning a special celebration.
Wow, that's great.
Nice. Thank you for telling us about that.
I just have one little comment. Last week, we awarded the first ever bootstrap scholarship through
Yay.
OCF. And I'm so excited. Yeah, this has been something I've been working on for years. And I'm pleased to say the recipient was at a community college in Oregon.
Yay.
Yeah, so
That's fabulous.
Nice.
it was a pretty, well, there's a committee of 3 currently. Also, I am still looking for bootstrappers to be on the committee, because I need to replace 1 committee member for next year, and I would like to have more than 3 people, because when I die, they gotta take it over. And it's gonna happen.
Are
And
you
then they'll
looking-
have more money when I die, so they'll be able to give out
Are
more
you looking for a
scholarships.
student or?
I don't care who
mean,
they are,
doesn't
they have to be a bootstrapper.
Yeah.
That means they have to have pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps without any family support. That's the,
I bet Jen knows some of
that's the
those.
criteria.
Mhm.
That's who I thought of.
Yeah. So students, great, but they don't have to be a student.
Without any family support.
Yes.
At one point, I thought I had heard you say without any like financial aid.
Well, that too, but well, I mean, not without any financial aid. they would-
Okay,
But without any financial or moral support from their family.
okay,
Oh,
That's
right.
the deal.
okay.
So, yeah, and it was very interesting. This is a national call, so I did not see any students from here. That's something that students here need to be made aware of. OCF has a lot of scholarships, and they should be applying for them because they have a lot. This is just one of many. So, but anyway, I'm
Okay.
so excited.
Yeah,
The
congratulations.
first one.
That's really cool.
wonderful.
And Suzanne, we'll miss you at graduation. I totally understand. And thank you. I think you said you could come to the pinning ceremony tomorrow. I cannot come to the pinning ceremony tomorrow, so I'm glad you'll be here. Thank you.
thank you.
Any other board concerns? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
And I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.